Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. This is Joseph Smith's 19 of July 1840 discourse. And so, no, none of us Mormons have ever heard of it. It's me who found it. Some guy named Dean C. Jesse from BYU Apologetics was doing this. And it's Article 11 of some volume. I'm not interested in his words. And so, let's see. The discourse as reported by Martha Jane Knowlton is as follows. Okay. So she's the source of it. So thank you, Martha Jane. Good old country girl name. She says, a few items from a discourse delivered by Joseph Smith, July 19, 1840. He starts off by reading in Ezekiel, and when all these things come to pass, and lo, they will come, then shall you know that a prophet hath been among you. They have come to pass. I don't know a prophet has been among us. Not from the church. I'm not going to... Yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'll just skim over it until we get to the good parts that I wanted to talk about. How Joseph had foreseen what he wanted to have before what Mormons believe was supposed to be the second coming of Jesus. He wanted to have things prepared, and I'm going to go over what he wanted to have prepared before that day, and we'll compare it with what the church has prepared. We got $1 trillion saved. Here you go, Jesus. So already I blew the ending. I spoiled the video for you. Oh man. Alright, and so then he reads the parable of the 12 olive trees, speaking of the land of Zion, and consists of North and South America, and the place where the saints gather is Zion, which every righteous man will build up for a place of safety for his children. See, that's one clue right there. Zion was supposed to spread to North and South America. And that a man will build up a place of safety for his children. I guess the women are extinct in this future vision. The eggs get harvested, and so they test tube babies. Don't need women. Why can't a woman be more like a man? My fair lady. Come on, guys. I don't make any of this stuff up on my own. I'm not that smart. Alright, let's see. The olive trees are 12 stakes, which are yet to be built, not the temple in Jackson County, Missouri, as some suppose. For while the 12 stakes are being built, we will be at peace, but the nations of the earth shall be at war. So again, remember, Mormons, the only place in the latter days that was supposed to be a place of safety and refuge was Zion. Where is that place? Certainly the hell ain't in Utah. They just rendered the homeless again after building 3 new shelters. I've done the videos. Refer to those. Okay, our cry from the first has been for peace, and we will continue pleading like the widow at the feet of the unjust judge. And so again, peace. When governments are corrupt, as they are in Utah, people rise up and protest. And so what does Gary Herbert do? You guys are domestic terrorists. We're locking you up. Huh. Okay. Mr. Ambassador for God. All those 12 stakes must be built up before the redemption of Zion can take place. So 12 stakes must be built before the redemption of Zion, before that city of Zion that he gets into. So there's not only planning that must take place with the city of Zion that we're going to get to, but he's saying 12 stakes are going to pave the way for the city of Zion. This never happened. None of this has happened. And those who refuse to gather and build when they are commanded to, do so cease to be saviors of men. Yeah, you're not interested in humanity, and so you're at war, as you have to murder to survive, because that's the extortion economy. That's what it is. If you don't know it, you've been spoiled here in America. But when you leave America, you get into the Eastern European lands and Russia, and the Middle East, South America, Central America, Mexico. Yeah, it's all extortion economy. Child slave labor, women who are widows forced to work with children in tow. I mean, it's total chaos, guys. And so if you have not seen that here in America, then you're rich and you're spoiled. Let's see, they're good for nothing. Cast out like the salt. It has no flavor. Reed Peck was when he was apostatized, and Quincy told him the door. At the same store, the authorities of the church obtained almost any amount or credit. Think of this. Alright. So they're talking about some Reed Peck guy. I don't know if it's Walter Peck's ancestor or Gregory Peck. We shall build the Zion of the Lord in peace until the servants of that Lord shall begin to lay the foundations of a great and high watchtower. We have the church office building, Travis. See? Oh, man. And they shall begin to say within themselves, what need hath my Lord of this tower, seeing this is a time of peace, and etc. Let's tear down the tower! Woo! And they may end up doing it. If the construction crew make a little mistake, oops! Oops. Then the enemy shall come as a thief in the night and scatter the servants abroad. Servants abroad. Not the sheep. They get to eat the sheep, but the servants get scattered. They flee the country with Travis's lawsuit. Take their trillions with them. When the seed of these 12 olive trees are scattered abroad, they will wake up the nations of the whole earth. Even this nation will be on the very verge of crumbling to pieces and tumbling to the ground. Oops, it's already happened. And when the Constitution is upon the brink of ruin, this people will be the staff upon which the nation shall lean. Huh. So you see what Joseph Smith had planned before Trump's election. Huh. No, Travis, Trump is the greatest. He's getting rid of the deep state. So what if he's lying about coronavirus? It's just unbelievable, the dumbness of people. But this is another testimony of that's what I was looking for. Was more of the quotes, and came across this, and I went, and then shall the Lord say, Go tell my servants who are the strength of mine house, my young men, my middle-aged, etc., come to the land of my vineyard, and fight the battle of the Lord. This was in my lawsuit, because I was taught, raised, grown up to believe I was going to fight for the saving of America, to preserve the Constitution from the kingmen who were prophesied to come in to take it away from us. Oops! So that's part of my lawsuit. Alright. Then the kings and queens shall come. Then the rulers of the earth shall come. Then shall all saints come. Yea, the foreign saints shall come to fight for the Lord of my vineyard. For in this thing shall be their safety, and they will have no power to choose, but will come as a man fleeth from a sudden destruction. The whole world's already at war. If you're watching Fox News, you won't hear about it. If you're watching MSNBC, you won't hear about it. MSNBC is caught up with Biden versus Sanders, Biden versus Bernie, the showdown. It's just unbelievable. The world's coming to an end, and they're fighting over two old men. And so disappointed. I've been watching MSNBC specifically because Fox is not telling me anything about Trump. I need to find out what he's up to. And they won't tell me. So I went to MSNBC, Rachel Maddow. She was telling more than I ever imagined she would tell. She's that good. But now they took her down with them. But she's still, you can see that she's better because she's doing interviews rather than panel discussions. So she interviews Bernie rather than having a panel discussion about Bernie. Let's see. But before this time shall be, so before 2016, these who are now my friends shall become my enemies. Sort of like Joseph Smith was a polygamist. We're sure of it. We altered the documents to prove it. Joseph Smith wasn't a translator. He just got revelation. It wasn't Nephi, it was Moroni. And they will seek to take away my life because they're bloodthirsty, just like Brigham Young was bloodthirsty. You say among yourselves, is it I? Is it I? They already knew it was them. That was what they were planning since 1838, when the leadership crisis, as I call it, occurred. But brethren, come ye, come all of you who come and wish with your mights build up the cities of the Lord. And whosoever will let him come and partake of the poverty of Nauvoo freely, for those who partake of her poverty shall partake of her prosperity. That's a law of consecration, which indicates to me that Joseph Smith did not write that Doctrine and Covenants section about tithing. But that was right after his bank failure. Are we sure it wasn't somebody named Willard Richards who wrote it? But then Brigham Young fled America to come to Mexico territory and take over this land and slaughter the Indians to build his kingdom of Deseret, and decided, You know, that consecration thing, that might be a good idea. Let's try that. Even though I've stolen the print press to make this Deseret coin, and so Lorenzo Snow saves the day. Hey, I found this revelation in the Doctrine and Covenants. I just opened to it, and there it was. Never read the book before in my life. And I'm getting revelation now that I need to demand tithing from all of you to save the church from debt from the Edmunds-Tucker Act. And surely I will do it, therefore give me thine honor. Oh my God. Church history as we've never heard it before. And now here is wisdom in God that we should enter into as compact a city as possible. For Zion and Jerusalem must be built up before the coming of Christ. So the stakes, the 12 stakes, which were throughout the world in 12 different locations, were supposed to be built first. Then the building of Zion and Jerusalem in America. And he tells you where they were to be located. So that at the day of the destruction in the world, when the Constitution of America would be under siege by the kingmen, to put a king on the throne and do away with the Constitution. And I saw the show. Our cartoon president, he whipped up that Constitution. He said oops, though. It was that show that I caught on that Congress has the fascist symbols. Unbelievable. It's like they don't even want to cover it up. And so how long will it take? 10 years? Yes, more than 40 years will pass. And the work will be accomplished when these cities are built. And then shall the coming, now pay attention, the coming of the Son of Man. All Mormons have thought Jesus is coming back. Christians have said it, therefore we believe it, because we're Christian, aren't we, Christians? Why don't you believe us as Christian? Jesus is in our name. It's the Son of Man. A man. Go to Ezekiel 37. Read the first verse. What does the Lord call Ezekiel? Case closed. There is no Jesus coming for the second time, guys. That's why Joseph Smith at first thought it was him. But by 1840, he knew he wasn't. Somebody else is going to do it instead. And so he needed to set things up to be done before he comes. They had thought that on September 23rd, 1827, whatever day that was when he got the plates, there was a sign in the heaven. And it looked very similar to the one on 23rd of September 2017. Just a month after the total solar eclipse over the whole United States, which will cross in 2024 with that total solar eclipse on 8th April over Little Italy and southern Illinois. Oops, jumping ahead. Like I said, I already did this in the other video, but it was at the end of it, and then I'm sure all of you gave up by then. As I'm sure most of you have already given up on this video already. He's just rambling. Get to the point, so that I can complain that you don't ramble to explain it. Okay, now let all who can coolly and deliberately dispose of their property, law of consecration, not tithing, come up and give of their substance to the poor, that the hearts of the poor may be comforted. That's what the law of consecration is. Remember the law of consecration of Brigham Young? Give everything to the church, not the poor. What the hell? And to the kingdom. But America is the kingdom. Zion is supposed to be the city. That's how he meant to take care of the poor. You can't have a city of peace if you've got poor people. You've got to lift them out of poverty, make them prosperous. And you can't do that by destroying the 1,100 beds shelter and replacing it with 3 shelters with only 700 beds, and then closing them down because you don't have enough money. Unbelievable. And I prophesy in the name of the Lord that the state of Illinois shall become a great and mighty mountain, as a city set upon a hill that cannot be hid, and great that giveth light to the world. The city of Nauvoo also shall become the greatest city in all the whole world. Oops. That little coup d'etat sort of prevented that from happening, didn't it? But did you see that? A mountain city. Like a pyramid. Cursed that man who say to his neighbor, "You are a mean man, because you do not believe as I do." Mormons, are you being mean? Are you the bad guy? I see everybody with blue hair now, and it's like, where do they get that? And then I see Billie Eilish, and oh, okay. We're not greatly distressed, nor ever will be. This is the principal place of gathering, Illinois. Well, Nauvoo, technically, is what he's saying here at first. Therefore, let the brethren begin to roll in like clouds, and we will sell you lots if you are able to pay for them. And the manner in which you pay for them is you give all your possessions to the city of Nauvoo, and then you get a lot. And if not, you shall have them without money and without price. Oh, just like Isaiah prophesied. But wait a minute. We don't get that in the church today, do we? We even have to pay to go through the rituals. So much for without money and without price, huh? They're not even following the scriptures, the Word of God. The greater blessing is unto those who come in times of adversity. I think we're done with the main point. Amidst of just satisfaction and stress, and so yeah, they're talking emulsions, and so the woman's talking about this. I'm offended. Elizabeth Warren was smart when she recognized it was a trap question when she talked about that, because people purposely ask those kinds of questions to get a response which they think they can trap them. That if they answer one way or the other, which is dichotomous, I've gone over all of this, they think they've trapped them. So, people of Warsaw, that was where the mob came from, was from that Warsaw Lodge. But they didn't kill Joseph. Willard Richards did. Shot him in the back. Very sad. Independence Day. Then shall the poor be fed by the curious, who shall come from all parts of the world to see the wonderful temple. Southern Illinois, guys. Southern Illinois. Zion and Jerusalem. And none of it is ready. None of it. Not a single brick. Not a single stone. Not even the cornerstone has been laid.